Welcome back to Unraveled Game Thoughts. I am trying out some new uh, audio video setup here, so I am not sure how this is going to work out. We're going to see how this goes, and I'll probably do a couple of test runs. Uh, but I figured I'd start with Wingspan because I know Wingspan. I don't have to fiddle with rules nearly as much, and it's a fairly popular game, but I'm going to try to uh, do a little bit of a teach as I go along. This is a game that I mention to people who are non gamers, and I thought it'd be fun to put out something that maybe a non gamer might be able to look at and get something out of. So, probably depends on how good this video quality will be. I'm afraid it's going to be a little dark. I need to probably work on my lighting a little bit, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Um, So, opening game, I've got my bird sanctuary here. If you're not familiar with Wingspan, there are 5 columns and 3 rows. There's a wetlands row. This is where I would take the action to draw cards. There is a plains row. This is how I would lay eggs. And then there is a forest row, which is where I would gain food. And then there is a play a bird section up here where if I play a bird, then I would put my cube up there to indicate I played a bird. But those are the 4 actions in the game: play a bird, gain food, lay eggs, draw birds. As I play birds, I'm just going to, so it's not confusing, I have to play them from left to right, and the more birds I have in a given column, I will not play them upside down. I'm just putting it this way so that the birds itself doesn't become confusing. The action will become more powerful the more birds I play in a given area on my board. So in a situation like this, my food action would then let me have 2 food, and then I could pay a card to get a 3rd food. My egg action would let me just have 2 eggs outright. And my draw cards will let me draw 2 cards and pay an egg or a nectar to draw a 3rd card. If I was to have something like this and 5 birds all in the food, or the draw cards area, now I just draw 4 cards outright. So the more birds I play in a given section of my board, the more powerful that particular action becomes. There is no action that makes play a bird more powerful per se, except other birds can give you various benefits from that. So the bulk of the game is playing birds. I'm going to get points from the birds. So if you see in the top left section there is a feather with a point value. At the end of the game, I'm going to count up all of those point values, and that's going to be, I guess you could call that my base score. I'm going to get a point for every egg that's on birds. Some birds will allow you to put food on the bird. I'm going to get a point for every food on birds. Some birds will let you tuck a card under the bird. I'm going to get a point for every card tucked under a bird. And then there are bonus cards. Technically I have one. I'm going to pick between these 2 at the beginning of the game, and I'm going to get some points for that. And then there are end of round goals. There are 4 rounds in the game. I can qualify or compete. In this case, with the automa. In most cases, it'd be with other players, and I would compete with that automa or the other players for 1st, 2nd, or 3rd in various goals throughout the game. I am right now just not having to worry about other players, but there are some interactions with the automa that I have to take into account. So that's the overview, and I'll explain other things as we get into the game. Right now, at the beginning of the game, I have 5 birds that I have drawn. I'll just set them up here for now. And of these 5 birds and these 5 basic food types, I get a nectar outright. I have to choose 5 that I want to keep. And to do that, let me see. I'm looking kind of at my goals and the round goals. So the round goals, round one, we're looking for eggs in the grasslands. Uh, Round two, we're looking for sets of eggs. So you have a set, could be on across multiple birds or on one bird in a given area. Beaks pointing left in round three, and we have eggs in the forest in round four. Now, of my goals here, birds that eat only worms and then birds that eat seeds. Uh, the birds that eat only worms, it's 2 points per bird, and I have one bird that only eats worms, which is nice. Um, Birds that eat seeds, I have two birds that eat seeds. The other thing I have is I'm looking for eggs in multiple areas. Um, and I'm also looking for what can I play quick, because sometimes at the beginning of the game, getting out a few birds quickly is very helpful. I like this one because in the wetlands or the uh, grasslands, I can discard an egg to gain a food, to gain a worm. And if I put this in the wetlands, then I'm going to have an egg for sure every time I trigger it. And then I can also gain a worm from the supply by discarding an egg. So that's not bad. Um, Not a bad bird. It's going to fit a lot of the types. It's going to fit this goal. It's not going to fit really these two goals, but it'll fit the second round one or help with it. So that's not a bad one. Um, and the question is, do I want any of these other birds? This one's discard a food from my supply, and I can gain another bird in the wetlands. It also faces left, which could fit that goal, but it costs 3 food, which is kind of expensive. Um, so this is a tough. I think I am going to keep that one, which means I definitely want to keep my worm. So do I want to keep another bird and get rid of another food or not? I don't think I'm going to need the berry, so I'm going to go ahead and discard that berry to keep that one. This is a tough choice. This bird looks neat, but it almost never seems to play out and give me or other players what they want. So I'm going to put that there. Find a contiguous group of birds in your preserve that have the same nest type and lay an egg on each of them. This is a very interesting bird because say I got either a bunch of star nests or just one type of nest. This could end up being worth quite a few points at the end of the game, depending on how many birds I get throughout my habitat. And I like this one too, but neither of these give me food outright. And I'm going to need to draw some birds. And then what do we have in the tray here? Lay one on an adjacent bird. Use all 4 actions this round. I can gain a food from the supply and lay one on any bird and draw one from the deck. I like that bird. That is a really good bird. I think I'm going to discard all 3 of those. I already got rid of one food. That's going to allow me to keep this amount of food. And I think from my first action of the game, oh, and I need to pick one of these. Birds that eat only worms, birds that eat seeds. Well, this doesn't contribute to that, and this, it's 2 points per bird. I think I'm going to go ahead and get that one um, because I already have, that's going to be 2 points for that bird. And as much as I'd like to play this one right away, I really want that bird, and I don't want the Automa to take it before I can get it. And so I'm going to go there, and I'm going to draw a card. I could pay a Nectar to draw another one, but I don't think I want to at this point in time. I'm just going to do that. That's my action, and that's quick enough. Now, if you are one that plays games solo, then hopefully this will you can kind of see how the solo works, and it runs pretty easily. There's a little bit of fiddliness with trying to figure out the round stuff, but there's a set of cards that correlate with every potential end round goal that you can have in the game. And I just put the one on top for round one because each card has round one, round two, or round three, round four. And I put the one that correlates with round one on top. So the Automa will start with one, and then he could potentially, or she could potentially get cubes that go on there that contribute to that goal. But I'm going to turn over the round one, and if there was a cube, I'd lose a cube. There are no cubes, and Automa just simply gets an egg in its supply. So that's it. That's a turn for Automa. It's very easy once you kind of know what these actions indicate on the cards. It's super easy. I should have drawn a card at the end of my turn. And now it is my turn. So I think we're going to go ahead and play a bird. And we're going to play this guy. And the real question is, do I put him in the wetlands or do I put him in the water? Well, he helps me draw better cards. He helps me get more eggs there. I think I want the eggs, so I am going to go ahead and pay a worm. And nectar is always played on the board in the habitat in which it's used. So I'm playing it on in the prairie or the grasslands, and that is my turn. I draw for Automa. If I had pink powers, they would trigger. And just to give you a little bit of how does the Automa work, so I am, and I'm not gonna, there's a round card that indicates which of these rows that I'm using, but we're in round one, since it's gonna be top row. Automa is doing the gain food action. There's a little pink powers trigger thing here, so that means pink powers would trigger, and I'm gonna grab, in the order that it's listed here on the bottom, a food from the dice tray. And in this case, it's going to look for seed/worms, and then it's going to look for worms outright, and it's going to take all the worms in the dice tray. And those are gone. So it is my turn. And I'm starting to feel the lighting is hurting me, but I'm gonna get to the end. This might be a dark video. I apologize. I'll see what I can do to correct it if I have that option, but still working out those kinks. So my turn. I really want to get this guy played eventually. I'm gonna need a worm at least, and possibly seed. I have one thing there that is a useful nectar, which can be used as a wild, not bad. So the question is, do I go for food or do I go? You know what? I think I'm going to go for the lay eggs action because that's going to give me 2 eggs, and I can discard one right away and gain a worm from the supply. And this is kind of a strategy thing because this can potentially, even when I'm laying eggs, give me a food each time I lay eggs. That is a somewhat valuable bird from that perspective because of how the fact that I can get 2 basic items from that one area. So we'll see if that plays out and actually ends up getting me what I want, but we'll see as the game goes along. This, I am only going to get an egg for the Automa, and then it is my turn again. As you can see, Automa turns are very fast and don't take a lot of time to operate. There's not birds in there that I'm really shooting for, so I want food. I want to get a bird in every category here. Ultimately, eggs in the grasslands is going to be the most valuable to me, but getting this guy played is going to be very helpful long term. So I really want to focus on getting this guy played. I don't have any berries. I hate to use all my food just for that. But getting eggs right now is not going to be the most helpful. And I've used, well, I'm going to have to use the gain food action anyway, just to gain some food. So actually, if I gain this nectar, that's not bad. It'll help me play this bird, and I won't use quite as much as I normally would. Um, So we'll see. We'll see how this works. I'm going to do that. Oops, that was gain food, not bird. So now I've used all 4 actions, so I'll get the benefit of that bird as long as I play it by round end. I accept that. And now I get a bird. So my card that I'm using for this particular one, I'm doing the average difficulty eagle. So he's going to look for up to 2 birds that are of value 3 or 4. And so he takes the lower value first. There are 2 birds that are value 4. So he's going to get those birds and they're going to go to his supply, and then this will refill, and that is that. Nothing else is going to happen for him, but that's that's basically 8 points in one turn he got. Now there's a crow here. Discard an egg from any of your other birds to gain 2 food from the supply. That is extremely powerful bird. I like it. In fact, as much as I want to play this, I'm going to go ahead and take this action because I want to draw a card. I really like that crow, or raven rather. And I think I'm going to discard an egg and take another card because I want to get a bird down here in the wetlands. And that guy is 1 food cost. I like that. And his ability is choose any 2 die, roll them up to 3 times. Each time if I roll at least 1 worm or fish, I cache it here, and if not, stop and return all food cached here this turn. So I think that's reasonable. That's some level. I could discard it and draw something else, but I will take that bird as at least 1 to make my card action a little bit more powerful. So that's that. We're going to move on to the automat. Now he gets a cube. So he has 2 eggs in the grassland according to his card. And he's going to get food. He wants rats. He's going to take a rat, and it is my turn. All right. So I could get another worm. I've got 3 actions left in the round. I'm not real concerned about getting this guy out yet, but it is doable. But he has to be played in the grasslands, so I would need, it would be tough to get him out effectively, and I really want to focus on this one. I think I'm going to go ahead and I want to make my food action more powerful too, but I might be able to, once I get him out, not even have to worry about food. So I'm going to go ahead and do this action, and I'm going to roll the die because there's only 1 die face type showing, and see what comes up. So I think I am going to go ahead and discard that card and get a nectar and we'll say a worm. And then it will be Autumn's turn. And he's going to get 2 birds. He's looking for 3 and 4, so nothing matches with 3 or 4 points. So what he does is grab 1 off the top face down. That's going to be worth 4 points at the end of the game. And that's it, because there are no birds that match his qualification. It's a 6 and a 5. He doesn't take 6 and 5. And there's a 2. He doesn't take 2s. He only takes 3 or 4 point birds. He'll take up to 2 of them. So he's going to get that 1 bird off the top because nothing matched. So that kind of worked out well for me. I'll take it. And then I have another action to take. Well, I think I was gonna play this in here, but I think I'm gonna play it in the forest. And so I will take the play a bird action. I'll need 1 and 2 berries. This is a much more efficient, or rather, I need 2 berries, but I'm going to use my nectar. And this is a much more efficient action for playing this bird. And we'll put it up there in the forest. So that'll be a nice probably end. I don't think I'm going to get, I need to get more eggs here, which I will do in a second. But he's going to roll a Another egg here. I say roll. He's drawing a card. He gets a cube. He gets an egg. He's going to have three. So I'm not going to win eggs, but I can either get 1 point or no points. So my question, or what, well, I need eggs to play this bird anyway. So it really makes that decision for me. And there's no birds out there that I'm like, I desperately want to get. So I'm going to lay two eggs. And the question is, when I trigger this brown power on this bird, do I want to discard an egg to gain a food? It's not going to hurt me to do that because all I need is to well, here's the thing. He's going to get an extra turn, and if he takes a cube off, which I don't know if that's going to happen, then I would get another 3 points out of that. I don't necessarily need the food right now, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the egg on there just in case. He did not take a food off, so I'm just going to have an extra egg for next round. I have no pink powers, and he is going to go after fish before everything else, so that comes out. Now, before we do end round goals, I get to do round end powers. Actually, I think we do end. No, I think we do round end powers first. Let me double check that. There should be a immediately following end of round goal scoring. If all players end of round goal, each player gains one from supply to place on any bird in the environment. I thought there was a one of these had the. I think in the box I have the whole flow. Place one of Autumn's action cubes on the current round goal tile of the goal board. So my question is really, when do end of round powers trigger? Is it before or after scoring end of round goals? Automa's okay, that's Automa. Alright. Maybe it'll say in the expansion that I actually had these birds. Set up round end. These powers are resolved when all turns in the round have been completed, but just before scoring the goal for that round. Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. So I do this guy first. I used all four actions. So I gain one food from the supply, and I'm assuming it is of my choice, but can't be wild. I mean, it can't be nectar. And then I gain one egg on any bird. This bird is full. He has a 2 egg limit, so I got to put it on that one. And then I draw one card from the deck. So we're going to draw that card. Gives me a crane. Score one of your bonus cards now by cashing one fruit from the supply on this bird for each point. Discard that bonus card and draw one new one. Oh, that's interesting. So I could get 2 points right away and draw a new bonus card. That is very interesting. Plus 2 points on the bird. That is not a bad bird. And then at the end of the round, we're going to reset this bird tray. And like so. And then the end round goal, Automa had 3 eggs on theirs, and I had 2. So the Automa will get first place 4 points for round 1, and I will get 1. And now we're looking for sets of eggs moving into round 2. So to prepare for round 2, we flip the round card so that round 2 can be read pretty easily. We remove this one card that gets removed after round 1. And then the other thing I have to do is I take, and I forgot to pick a card that was correct. I take this, so I'm going to remove one nectar from the forest. I'm going to add one nectar to the plains, and nothing happens with the wetlands. So that is how we do the nectar for the Automa at the end of the round. And we're going to go on the round two. And a weird thing about playing the automa is that the player always goes first, regardless of usually in a multiplayer game, you'd have the first player token, the first player would rotate, but in an automa, the player always goes first. So, all right, round two. Let us see here. We're trying to get sets of eggs. We're going to have to get a bird down here in order to do the sets of eggs. Um, I really like, I think I like getting the Chihuahuan Raven out first. So I'm going to reset my cubes for round two. And I'm going to go ahead and play a bird, and that's going to take a rat, and we're going to say a fish and a berry, and that's going to cost me an egg. And I'm going to put that there. We'll put my food in the tray here, and now I have a little bit more powerful action, which is good. All right, so he's going to draw. He gets a cube, and what is his goal this round? It is sets of eggs in the across the three habitats. So he starts with 0, but he does get an egg, so now he's got 1, or yeah, and he gets birds. No birds meet his qualifications, so he's going to get that. All right, number 2. Man, we need another food, but really this is going to be the most helpful for doing that. So I'm going to take the lay eggs action. Have to discard food from other birds. So it makes sense to do this. I'm going to discard an egg from that bird, and I gain any 2 food from the supply. So I'll grab that, and we'll just say a rat. And oh, I can't get, I was going to get a berry. I can't get nectar for that power. And then this one, I can discard a food to get a worm from the supply. And so I can get 3 food and 2 eggs from taking that action. That's a really powerful second row. Not bad. All right. He gets another cube. So now he has 2 sets of eggs. And he gets 2 eggs in his cache. All right. It's looking good for him. I'm going to go ahead and take the play a bird action again. I need these 2. I'm going to go ahead and use my rat for the wild food I need. And I'm going to play this. And then, when played, I can score one of my bonus cards by cashing 1 food from the supply on this bird for each point. Well, I have 2 food here. Birds that eat only worms, I have 1. So because it would give me 2 points right away, I cash that on there. I get those 2 points, and I draw a new bonus card. Bird cards in hand at the end of the game. So that's it. But this bird is worth 5 points by itself, and now it is a 7-point bird. So I will take it. That's not a bad deal. All right. So he's going to activate pink powers, of which I have none, and then there's only 1 die in the dice list. So he's going to roll, and he's looking for these dual birds there. I definitely want to play all 4 actions to get this end round bonus bird. I could lay eggs. It's not bad. I could draw cards. And the question is, are there cards here that I really want? I got a beak facing left. Draw 2. If you do, discard 1 from your hand in your turn. That's pretty good for cycling through some cards. Eggs in the forest and sets of eggs. Tuck up to 3 from your hand behind this bird. If you tuck at least 1, gain 1 from the supply. Well, that's going to give me food and potentially tucked cards. And it faces left. I like that bird. So I think this is not a bad one. I'm going to want to get some eggs in the forest later on. That's not bad for eggs in the forest. Plus, it gives me a little extra food. So actually, I will grab that bird as well. And then we'll draw two more. That doesn't do anything for me. We go on to Autumn turn. He's going to lose a cube and gain two eggs. And now it's my turn. And if you catch mistakes as I'm playing the game, please point them out to me, or some areas where I probably could have played better. Feel free to point that out. I always appreciate that. Helps me get better at these games. I should be very good at this game, but I'm probably not as good as it should be because I've played this game like, I don't know, uh, well over 100 times. So, okay, I'm back. All right, so I definitely want to gain some food, and there's some nectar up there to get. So I am going to take the gain food action. I'm going to take the two nectar here because I have potential to catch up with him on that. And that is all for that action. He is going to lose another cube and gain two more eggs. So Automa is doing really good with the eggs right now. And then we've got 2 turns left this round. I want to get sets of eggs. But do I want to play a bird? Well, I need to play a bird because I want to use my nectar for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this bird, which is going to take both my nectar, and it's going to cost me an egg. So I'll take one off of there. Yeah, I'll take one off of there. And it is Autumn's turn. He wants birds. There is not the bird he would like, so he is going to grab one of those. And then it is my turn, and I want sets of eggs, so I am definitely going to get at least one set of eggs so that I qualify for the goal. And the question is, do I want to, because I'll get to trigger him before the powers get measured. So I think I am going to use one of his power so that I can get some food so that I can play uh, something a little quicker next round. But I'm not going to use his power because otherwise it won't work. And then Autumn is going to go. Now, in this case, he's going to discard all the birds here. He's going to grab from the top of the deck, and then we're going to refill the tray. And then it is end round goals. So I did use all 4 actions. So I gain a food from the supply. I'll take a worm. And I lay an egg on any bird. So I'm definitely going to lay one here, and I draw one from the deck, which I will put there. And that is end round powers. He has 0 sets in his. Oh, he was supposed to get a cube last. Oh no, he wasn't supposed to get a cube. My bad. So he tied for 0. I had 1. So I actually took first place in the end round goal that time. I lucked out. And then I don't know why this is turned over like that. I'm going to shuffle these cards. And then we have to do his end of round nectar. So we're going to go like so, and he is going to lose a nectar there and gain one in the wetlands. And that is a card that gets discarded after round 2. So he's going to go to round 3, and we have to discard all the birds in the bird tray and grab new birds. So now we are going on to round 3. Is this right? I feel like one of these is upside down. That was it. Okay. So now I'm wanting birds with a beak pointing left, of which I have 0. And let's see how many he's going to start with at the beginning of his turn. Uh, that's a round one, beat 20 left. And we want uh-oh, round two. Oh, here it is. Round three, that's not the one I want. Round three, big pointing left. He starts with two birds. So I am behind the curveball on this one. If you use all four types of actions this round, play another bird and play its normal food and egg costs. That is really good, especially given I already have another bird that wants me to use all four types in a given round. So I think it will make sense to draw cards first. So we will play the draw cards action, and I will draw this card. And I kind of want reset the bird feeder, and then for each type, here's my cat. This is Wasabi. I'm gonna go take care of him. Say hi, Wasabi. Sorry for that. Wasabi wanted to go out. Put that on there. Okay. All right. So did I draw one card? I drew one card so far. Um, Reset the bird feeder, then for each type of food in the bird feeder, gain one of that type. That's not bad. That gives me some extra food to play with. I'm going to go ahead and take that one. It's a one-off, but not terribly unuseful. All right, so pink powers, there are none. Looking for that first. So he's going to take that out, and that is it for him. And now it is my turn. Now, I don't need eggs, really, this round. What I do need is food, and I'll need some eggs to play food. But 6 and lay 1 on this bird for each discarded food. Huh. So if I have enough food when I play that bird, I will be in better shape. This one I want to play first, so that's going to end up costing me 2 eggs. This one is probably going to be the best for putting here. And in fact, I think I am going to go ahead and pay a seed. I'm going to do the play a bird action and play a seed. And put this guy here. It's going to cost me an egg. And then I reset the bird feeder. And then for each type of food in the bird feeder, gain one of that type. So there is a worm, there is a seed, and there is a fish. So it gives me three food, worm, seed, fish. That's not as good as it could have been, but it's not bad. All right. He'd lose a cube, but there is no cube to lose. So we're going to go with 3 eggs. He gets 3 eggs. I'm sorry, my nose has been kind of running this morning, so I apologize for that. All right, let's see. Now, still want to get this guy out, which I could. This round, in fact. But I also like that guy. I think I'm going to do the lay eggs action. This guy might not be quite as helpful for me, so I'm going to go ahead and discard him in order to do up to 3 eggs. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, because down here we're going to want to get eggs in the forest. And then we're going to go here, and I can discard an egg from any other bird to gain 2 food. Well, I'm going to do that. And we'll go ahead and get one of those, and I'll grab a rat just in case I need it later. and then I could discard an egg to get a worm. I don't think I need the worm right now, so I'm gonna hold off on that and hope that I'm good to go because I'm gonna get food up here um, just to get that fourth action. So yeah, all right. So now it's round three. He's gonna discard each of these, and he is gonna draw from there and just put one out and draw three cards, and then it's my turn. All right. Discard up to 5 from your supply. For each one, tuck one behind the deck this bird. That's not a bad end round goal. I like that. And gain one from the bird feeder, then one of name or draw a card. Copy a when played white ability of one of your neighbor's birds. I forget how the ring-nosed rose ring parakeet works. I have to look that up. Could be very powerful. I'm not sure if I actually look at his birds or if I do something else, but I'm not going to worry about that one right now. I really want to get this guy out, so I'll go ahead and play a bird. We're going to play that there. It's going to cost a worm and a berry and an egg, and that's my turn. And then he gets a cube. Now he's got 3 birds pointing left, and he is going to, he's going to take 3 and 4. There's only one, so he's going to grab this one, and I'm going to assume he goes ahead and grabs another one from up there because he can, because he would otherwise have an unfulfilled bird request. So I'm going to give him 2 because there was one he could take, and he will take. I'm going to give him the extra to be hopefully fair to the Automa. And if I'm cheating, maybe I'm cheating in the Automa's favor. All right. Ooh. Now I could play this. You know, I need to do the gain food action. I like that. It's going to give me some eggs back. I'm going to go ahead and gain food, and I'm going to gain a seed and a worm. And then I can gain 1 worm, seed, or berry from the supply. I'll gain a berry, and then that is all 4 actions that I will trigger what I need for my end round goal. All right, he is going to lose a cube and gain a card. I was hoping to maybe get that one, but I'm not going to because he is emptying the bird tray and getting a card. So we're going to do that. And all right, what do we got here? That's not bad. 9-point bird. That's pretty good. What do I want to do with my last cube? I'm going to need to be able to pay eggs and whatnot. If I use one of these food, I could discard up those food. And that's not a bad one. Lay an egg on this bird for each discarded food. So I'm turning food into eggs. I'm turning eggs into food. It's not a beak pointing left. I'm just not going to qualify for that goal. I think I'm going to go for it. I am going to. Oh, but here's the thing. If I do that, I won't have another bird in my hand. I'd be better off using his ability to play that bird. That would be better. I might want to get bird cards. That might be a better use of this last power because then I could go ahead and take this 9-point bird to play later. And I don't know that I want any of those. I'll just grab that bird. Your hand if you do lay an egg in this bird. Okay. So That's not terrible. And then he's going to get to go, and he's going to get a cube, bird pointing left, and he is going to get 2 eggs. So he is really racking up the eggs. End of round. Those are going to be discarded. That would be that card discarded. We're going to reset the bird feeder. We're going to get the end of round goals. I used all 4 actions. And so I can do this. So I am going to play this guy. I have to pay his normal food and egg cost. It's going to cost me that and 2 eggs. And then I can discard up to 6 food. I'm going to go with these 6 food. And that's going to let me lay 6 eggs. So I had to get rid of a lot of food for that, but I think it would be worth it to lay these 6 eggs on this bird. So there we go. 6 food for 6 eggs. A little bit of a trade out process there, but I like it. And then this one, if I used all 4 actions, which I did, I can gain a food. I need a seed. I can lay an egg on any bird. I need eggs in the forest. And I can draw 1 from the deck. So I will do that. And then we need to do our berries for this round. We have nothing going out there onto the card. And then I think there's a card to discard after round 3. So that stays the same. And now we're looking for, he is definitely winning that one. And I am coming in with no points on that one. So that's a 6-point swing for him. I'm hoping I can make up for it in other ways here. So we're going on to round 4. We're doing that, and we are looking for eggs in the forest. Here it is, eggs in the forest. He starts with 7. So I'm going to have to build up a little here. Draw 2 new bonus cards and keep 1. Other players may discard any 2 resources to do the same. 2 resources to do the same. He doesn't gain anything from that. And he doesn't have anything in his hoard to discard. So I think he would not even gain from that. If things that I do would give him stuff, then he can gain more, but I have not done any birds here that give him anything. So that's to my advantage to some degree. So he would have nothing to discard. But I think there was something he gets. If he would gain a bonus card, there's something he could get. Let me double check that. Do it, gain, draw cards, lay eggs, your turn. Oh, I think he would gain 1 in his hoard, is how that works. So he would gain something from that bird, sort of. All right, now, in order to do this, I'm going to have to do all 3 cards here. I could play a second bird in that or that. That would let me play another bird. That's not bad. It would give me more room for eggs. Right now I only have 6. So we're not in a good place egg-wise. I also need to do all actions. I'm going to go ahead and do the gain food action. It's the one I need the least, but if I trigger my in-game powers, I need to have this. So I am going to gain 3 nectar because that will help me with my other things here. And I'm discarding a card because I don't think I need that one. I really need forest cards more than anything else. But I might go for another bonus card too. Then I can gain a food, berry, or worm. I'm going to gain a worm, and that is hopefully the only gain food action I need the whole game. Lose a cube. He's going to discard all of these, gain one, and we're going to pop these on here. And let's see. Back a card from your hand behind this bird. I'm not planning to trigger that action again. The question is, when do I want to play this bird? I could do it now. And then this could be my end game bird. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I will go ahead and play a bird. We'll pop this guy here. I'm going to use my 3 nectar to play that guy. And then I draw 2 bonus cards and I keep one. He would have to pay something to do that, but he can gain a food in his hoard, which will be some end game points. So birds named after a person, 2 points per bird, or birds that can only live in the grasslands. Well, I have 3 of those, so I meet for 3 points. Do I have anything named after a person? Moltones, that's 1, that's 2 points. Stubble quail, cruster, ibis, masked lapwing, and red-crowned crane. I think the prairie manager is going to be the one for me because that's going to be 3 points at the end of the game. I'll take it. And then this gets discarded. And that's from that guy. Okay. So then he's going to draw, and he wants a cube on his thing there, and he gets 3 eggs. So we'll do that. Get his 3 eggs, and then it's my turn. So I've taken play a bird, I've taken the food action. I'm definitely going to take more egg action. Do I want to take a draw card action? I'm going to have to at some point, and the question is when and what's going to be worth it. I'll go ahead and draw cards. I can draw 2. I will draw this one. Draw 2 bonus cards and keep 1. Other players can do the same. It's only worth 5. And I'll draw 1 from the top of the deck. A Roadrunner. It's worth 7 points. Plays in the prairies. It can only be played in the prairie. It would push me to 4, which is 5 points plus the 7. That might be the bird that I end up playing at the end of the game rather than this guy. Nothing else is going to trigger. It's his turn. Okay. So he's going to lose a cube and gain 3 eggs. And so now I have to kind of do a little math here. I'd like to be able to play this bird. I have 2 actions left. I'm going to need food. I'm going to need eggs. I really want eggs in the forest, but I'm not going to win the goal. I just want to qualify for that goal because that's ultimately chasing after that is not going to get me the most points. And this guy is going to be worth the most. The other question is, could I play both of these possibly? I have to take a lay egg action, but if I take a lay egg action and then play one bird, could I still potentially play the other bird? I think it's possible. It's going to cost me more eggs overall. But my egg action is more powerful if I play this bird first. So let's go for the potential most points and play this guy. Oh, wait a second. Do I even have the food for it? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I think I am going to have to take the lay egg action first. Whoops, took cube from the wrong place. I'm going to take the lay egg action first. I am going to gain 3. Seed. I could use all this food Nothing is, I don't think there's anything I want to discard, but I'm not planning to play this bird. So I'll go ahead and discard him for another egg. And we'll put all of these eggs in the forest because that is where we're going to need eggs to have the biggest chance of doing anything. That does nothing, that does nothing. Discard one from any of my birds and I can gain 2 food. Well, I want that and a rat. So now I have what I need for that bird and I need uh, one more food for that bird. I can discard an egg and get a worm. That's worth it. And that's his turn. Pink powers trigger. He wants food. He gets rats first. Done. My go. This is where I'm actually going to play this bird. It doesn't really matter too much. This is going to cost me a rat and that and 2 eggs. I'll pay that. And he goes there, and that's that. That's my play a bird action. And then he's going to go, he's going to get a cube toward the goal and get 3 eggs. He really racked up the eggs this round, this game. And then end of round goals are going to happen before that. So I did use all 4 actions. I'm going to gain a food. I'm going to lay an egg on any bird. We'll just lay one here, and I'm going to get a card from, that should be there, from the top of the deck. And then I am going to pay the cost for this 9-point bird and place him, which is going to cost me 2 eggs, but that's okay. And he gets to check for what his nectar is going to be at the end of the round, which is losing 1 from there, and that's it. I don't know why. I was throwing my berries in there. So he didn't do so well on the nectar there. And then we do end of round goals. Well, I got 6, he's got 8. So he is going to win. And I am going to come in second because I still place. And then that is the end of the game. So let's look at scoring here. See how that goes. We've got Ultima and Wade. Now, I have the most nectar in the grasslands. He has 1, so I'm going to get 5. He's going to get 2. I qualify, so now we're tied 7-7. And then here I have 3, and I believe he has 4, so he wins. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So he's gotten 12, and I'm at 9. And then we go to birds. So this is where he's just going to count what he's got here. He's got 12 in birds there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 4, 32, 42, 43, 44. So his bird total is 44. So he's at 56. I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 19, 23, 30, 5, 36, 35, 43, 52 in birds. And that would be, so 56 to 61 so far. Bonus cards, I already did his, so that's not going to make a difference to him. He doesn't have enough in his hoard to get anything extra. I have 4 birds, so it's 8 points from that one, and not enough in hand for that second one. But I do get 8, so I'm at 69 now. End of round goals, he's going to get 4, 6, 12, 19. He's getting 19 from end of round goals, and I'm getting 4, 9, 10. So that puts me at 79 and him at uh, 75. So he's a lot closer now. Eggs, I've got 6, 7. So that's going to put me at um, 86. And he's got 23. That might push him over. He's got 98. Food on cards, I have 2. So 88 for me, 0 for him. And tucked cards, of which I have none. And that is game. I didn't do as well with those birds as I thought I was going to do. He got me 98 to 88. No, no tucked cards. I played my bird. I got all my stuff. Yeah, I didn't quite leverage those birds as well as I had hoped. So maybe I should have gotten some different ones in the grasslands. Not sure. But that is Wingspan. A loss for me. I beat him 107 to 100 last time. So the Automa I find is usually tough to beat on the higher or the medium level. But again, if you watched my playthrough and you thought I did something wrong or I cheated myself or I cheated the Automa in some way, post in the comments. Let me know what you saw. Have a great afternoon from Unraveled Game Thoughts. Until next time.